Last summer I took my yellow patchy lawn that had been going backwards on me for 3 seasons, and in 10 days I had it greener than the golf club 2 streets over. And you can do it too. The whole recipe cost me under $4. 4 ingredients you already have around the house: a bottle of beer, a jug of household ammonia, a little dish soap, and a splash of corn syrup. Mix it the way I'm about to show you, spray it on a Saturday morning, and by the following weekend your neighbors are going to be asking what you did. You can stop paying for lawn treatment and you don't have to waste money at Home Depot. But there's one more ingredient, the cherry on the top. I will show you near the end of the video, a finishing trick the old golf course groundskeepers have been using for 90 years. That takes your lawn from healthy green to that deep emerald shade you see on TV. My name's Lenny, and I'm going to walk you through the exact recipe and how to apply it, so you have a plan ready to run this Saturday morning before your second cup of coffee. Most people don't realize the grass on their yard doesn't actually absorb nutrients straight out of a bag of fertilizer. It can't. The roots can only take in food that has already been broken down by the tiny microbes living in the top few inches of your soil. So when you spread a bag of synthetic fertilizer across the lawn, 2 things happen at the same time. The grass goes bright green for about a week, but underneath the surface, that fertilizer is wiping out the very microbes your lawn depends on. A week later, the color fades, the soil is in worse shape than it was before you started, and you head back to Home Depot for another bag. The recipe I'm about to give you does the opposite. It doesn't feed the grass directly. It feeds the soil. Every ingredient in this mix is in there to bring those microbes back to life. And once they're back to life, they start feeding the grass naturally. That's what gives you the deep color, the thicker blades, and the lawn your neighbors keep looking at over the fence. So let's start with the first ingredient, the beer. Any regular beer works here. A lager, a pale ale, whatever you already have in the fridge. The yeast and the sugars in regular beer are exactly what those soil microbes love to eat. So the moment your mix hits the lawn, they go to work. One thing to watch out for though, stay away from the light stuff. If you like a Michelob Ultra on a Friday night, congratulations on the abs, but it's useless for your lawn. The light beers have all the carbohydrates stripped out, and the carbohydrates are what does the work here. I use a Corona because I usually have one sitting in the fridge. Any regular lager or pale ale will do the same job. Before I get into the specific ratios and the application protocol, if you're serious about fixing your lawn without wasting money at Home Depot, you need the right products and a plan. That's why I wrote this book, a straight step-by-step blueprint to a greener lawn with the weeds gone for good. What to buy, where to get it, when to put it down. Scan the QR code or click the link below to get your copy. Ingredient number 2 is plain household ammonia. When ammonia reaches your soil, the bacteria, specifically the ones called Nitrosomonas and Nitrobacter, convert it into nitrate within 48 to 72 hours. Nitrate is the form grass roots actually absorb. The reason this doesn't burn the lawn the way synthetic urea does is because you're applying it diluted through a hose-in sprayer with thousands of gallons of water as a carrier. One critical point on this ingredient, plain ammonia only. Read the label. You want the clear cheap stuff with one ingredient on the back. The lemon-scented version, the sudsy version, and the antibacterial version all contain extras that will harm the microbes you're trying to feed. The Great Value jug at Walmart costs $2 and it's the right one. Ingredient number 3 is dish soap, the original Blue Dawn. Avoid the antibacterial version because that one will kill the bacteria the rest of this recipe is designed to feed. Dawn breaks the surface tension of water. Dry summer soil becomes hydrophobic, meaning water beads off it like rain on a waxed car. The soap allows a tonic to penetrate the soil instead of running off into the street. It also softens compacted soil over time. So at the store, pick the original blue bottle and skip every variant with an extra word on the label. And the 4th ingredient is light corn syrup or blackstrap molasses. Cara brand corn syrup works fine and it's available in every grocery store. Blackstrap molasses is even better because it contains iron, calcium, and magnesium. Those are micronutrients the grass uses later. Either bottle costs about $3 and lasts the whole summer. The simple sugars feed the bacteria the moment the tonic reaches the soil, and the bacteria population doubles every 20 minutes for the first 2 days. 4 ingredients. 3 are in your kitchen right now. The 4th is in the cleaning cabinet. The total cost to mix a gallon of concentrate is under $4. That gallon treats your whole yard for half the growing season. Now here are the specific ratios. 1 cup of regular beer, 1 cup of plain household ammonia. half a cup of regular blue Dawn dish soap, half a cup of light corn syrup or blackstrap molasses. Pour all of it into a clean 1-gallon container, top it with water, cap it, shake it, and set it aside. If you already have a bottle of liquid lawn food in the garage, an organic one such as Earthworks Protein Plus works well because it adds ammonium sulfate, iron, kelp, and more molasses to the mix. Add 1 cup of that to the jug as an accelerant if you have it. But the 4 base ingredients alone will do the job. The application vehicle is an Ortho-Dial in-spray hose in-sprayer, about $12 at Home Depot or Lowe's. Set the dial to 2 ounces per gallon. That dilution rate means every gallon of water leaving the hose carries 2 ounces of concentrate. 2 ounces per gallon is the correct number. It's the dilution that prevents the grass from burning. 1 full sprayer jar of concentrate at that setting covers about 1,000 square feet of lawn. A standard 5,000 square foot suburban yard needs about half a gallon of concentrate per application. So 1 gallon of the mix gives you 2 full lawn treatments. That's $2 per application. Now for the application protocol, I recommend doing the application early in the morning, between 6 and 8 or evening after 6, never midday. Direct sun on freshly applied tonic evaporates the ammonia before the microbes can process it. Your soil temperature in the top 3 inches needs to be above 55 degrees. In zones 7 through 10, that means March through October. In zones 4 through 6, mid-April through mid-September. In zones 2 and 3, mid-May through late August. Check your zone rather than guessing. The method is pretty simple. Walk the lawn at a steady pace, sweeping the wand side to side as if you're painting a wall. Don't linger in one spot. Apply even, light coverage across the whole area. If wet leaves are still visible 20 minutes after spraying, you went too heavy. Within an hour of spraying, give the lawn a 1/4 inch of water. You're not flushing the tonic out. You're moving it from the leaf blade down into the root zone where the microbes live. Here is what to expect day by day. Days 1 and 2, nothing visible above ground. Underneath, the bacteria are doubling every 20 minutes on the beer sugars and the corn syrup, and the ammonia is converting to nitrate. The whole soil layer is waking up. You just can't see it yet. Day 3, the first subtle color shift. The yellow haze at the tips of the grass begins to fade. The lawn looks less tired. A photo taken on day 0 before you spray compared to one on day 3 from the same angle will show the shift in the photos before you see it standing on the lawn. Days 4 and 5, visible greening. The new growth at the base of each blade comes in noticeably darker, and the density difference is noticeable underfoot. Day 7, a healthy, uniform, medium deep green across the whole lawn. No burn patches, no streaks, no smell. Day 10, the density fills in. The microbes have started breaking down the thatch layer, so new shoots have room to come up. The lawn feels thicker underfoot. By day 14, the color deepens again, and the whole yard starts looking more like turf. Reapply the tonic every 3 weeks during the growing season. Skip applications during heat above 90 degrees for 3 days in a row, because heat-stressed grass doesn't process the nitrogen, and the application can do more harm than good. For most of the country, that means 6 to 8 applications a year. The total cost for the full season, including the iron addition coming up next, is about $30, compared to $320 for the bag program. You might be asking, why have you never heard of this recipe? Well, this recipe is not new. Old groundskeepers were spraying versions of it on bent grass greens generations ago. Depression-era farmers fed their pastures with it because they couldn't afford anything else. The protocols were published in agricultural extension bulletins out of Cornell, Ohio State, and Michigan State into the late 40s. Then the Second World War ended. Back in 1913, 2 German chemists named Fritz Haber and Karl Bosch had figured out how to pull nitrogen out of the air and turn it into ammonia at industrial scale. That process fed billions of people. It also produced the ammonia for the explosives used in 2 world wars. When the Second War ended in 1945, those same ammonia factories were left with capacity nobody needed. Lawn and farm fertilizer was the obvious pivot. By 1955, every American suburb had Scott's on the shelf. Research funding shifted to synthetic nitrogen, and the kitchen tonic bulletins went quiet. By the time Jerry Baker brought the recipes back on PBS in the mid-90s, an entire generation of homeowners had grown up assuming lawn care meant a yellow bag from the hardware store. State agriculture regulators told Baker's company it was illegal to sell the tonics because they weren't registered pesticides. Every ingredient was legal on its own. The mixture wasn't. You could pour any of it on your kitchen floor. You just couldn't put it in a bottle and put a price tag on it. On the 7th of September in 2012, Scott's Miracle-Gro entered federal district court in Columbus, Ohio, and pled guilty to 11 criminal violations of federal pesticide law. They had knowingly applied 2 pesticides to 70 million units of wild bird food after their own employees had warned management for 6 months that the product was killing birds. The fine was $12.5 million, the largest criminal penalty under that federal law since it was written. That's the company telling you what to spray on the lawn your kids play on. There's no generic beer and ammonia marketing council. There's no Super Bowl commercial for the recipe just covered. The Truth doesn't have a marketing budget. The competing product has a $400 million one. You weren't told any of this. The tonic does most of the work, but the chemistry only functions if you stop fighting it at the same time. So I need to cover 3 habits you may be running right now that are working against the whole thing. First habit to break is to stop mowing short. Most homeowners cut at 2 inches because it looks tidy. Raise the deck to 3.5 to 4 inches for cool season grasses such as Kentucky bluegrass, fescue, and ryegrass. 2.5 to 3 inches for warm season grasses such as Bermuda, zoysia, and St. Augustine. Tall grass shades the soil and lowers the soil surface temperature by up to 15 degrees on a hot day. That's where the microbes live. Tall grass also suppresses crabgrass germination because crabgrass seeds need direct sun on bare soil to germinate. Mowing at 2 inches damages the microbes and creates ideal conditions for weed seeds in the surrounding area. A stressed lawn also requires another bag. Second habit to break. Stop bagging your clippings. Grass clippings break down in 7 to 10 days and return up to 25 or 30% of your lawn's annual nitrogen requirement for free. Bagging clippings throws roughly $30 of free fertilizer into the bin every summer. A mulching mower blade is the cheapest upgrade you can make. And there's no bag a company can sell for not bagging your clippings, which is why this is rarely mentioned. Third habit to break. Stop the shallow daily watering. 15 minutes of sprinkler every evening trains the roots to stay near the surface where they dry out quickly. The surface stays wet overnight, which is ideal for brown patch fungus. The standard rule is 1 inch of water per week delivered in a single deep soak between 4 and 7 a.m. so the leaf has time to dry before night. Roots follow water down. Deeper roots mean a tougher lawn. The sprinkler every evening habit produces the opposite of the intended result. Those 3 habits corrected do more for your lawn than any bag of fertilizer. And no company can sell a bag for not mowing short and not bagging your clippings. That's why this isn't promoted on the end cap at Home Depot. The finishing trick mentioned at the top of the video. The one old golf course groundskeepers used to take a lawn from healthy green to the deep, almost black green emerald shade visible on televised tournaments in July. It's one ingredient, and homeowners rarely think to add it: iron sulfate. Specifically ferrous sulfate, the dry kind, or liquid chelated iron. Either one works. A bag of iron sulfate costs about $6 at Site One. A bottle of liquid chelated iron costs $12 to $15 at a garden center. Iron doesn't feed the grass the way nitrogen does. It doesn't make the lawn grow faster. What iron does is enhance the chlorophyll already inside the blade. Chlorophyll is the molecule that gives plants their green color, and iron is a cofactor in chlorophyll synthesis. More available iron in the soil produces denser chlorophyll, which produces a visibly darker green. The color shift happens in 3 to 5 days, faster than the nitrogen-driven green up from the tonic itself. Scott sells the same iron in their Green Max product for about $20 a bag. Same molecule, 300% markup. Michigan State turf programs have known for 40 years that iron is what separates a healthy green lawn from a great-looking lawn. Golf course superintendents have been buying iron sulfate by the pallet since the 70s. There's no patent on iron. It's an element on the periodic table. Nobody has a reason to advertise it. The Truth has no marketing budget. So the homeowner buys a rebranded version at 3 times the price and never finds out the working ingredient is sitting in a $6 bag 2 aisles over. Application is simple. Add 2 ounces of liquid iron to the hose end sprayer alongside the regular tonic once a month during the growing season. For the dry iron sulfate, apply at half a pound per 1,000 square feet and water it in immediately. Wear old shoes when you do this. Iron stains concrete. One technical note before I leave you. The recipe given here is calibrated for a hose end sprayer, where the water from the garden hose dilutes the concentrate as it leaves the wand. The hose is doing half the chemistry. With a backpack sprayer instead, the water carrier volume is much lower per square foot, which means the ammonia is far more concentrated when it reaches the blade. That will burn the lawn. So for the backpack version, reduce the ammonia from 1 cup down to 1/4 cup. Reduce the dish soap from 1/2 cup to 1/4 cup. Keep the beer and the corn syrup the same. Dilute the whole batch into 3 gallons of water in the backpack tank. Spray to wet, not soaked. Here's how you can get this done on Saturday. 1 trip to the grocery store, 1 stop at Walmart, 4 items. You'll need a bottle or a can of beer as discussed earlier in the video, a bottle of light corn syrup or blackstrap molasses, a jug of great value household ammonia, plain, with no scent, and a bottle of regular blue Dawn dish soap. While out, if you don't already own one, stop by Home Depot and pick up an Ortho Dial N spray for $12. For the finishing trick this weekend as well, stop by Site 1 for a $6 bag of iron sulfate. Then on Sunday morning between 6 and 8 a.m., mix the concentrate in a clean gallon jug, load the sprayer, and walk the lawn. By next Saturday, 7 days out, the color shift will be visible. By the Saturday after that, the density will be too. That is the protocol golf course groundskeepers were using 90 years ago, before the lawn care industry positioned a thick green lawn as something that had to come out of a $60 bag. 4 ingredients, $4, 7 days. That's the whole recipe. If every homeowner watching this video skipped the 4-step program next spring and used the tonic instead, Scott's would lose half its lawn care retail by next fall. Let me know in the comments below if you're struggling with anything specific with your lawn, and I can help you in my next video. Now, if you're serious about fixing your lawn without wasting money at Home Depot, you need the right equipment and a plan. That's why I wrote this book, a straight step-by-step blueprint to a greener lawn with fewer weeds. What to buy, where to get it, and when to put it down. Scan the QR code or click the link below to get your copy. It's at fixyourlawnin30days.com. And remember to hit subscribe for more tips to get in the lawn you deserve. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.